Alex Hormozi was able to spend $500,000 in a single day leading up to his Money Models book launch, and that's because he knew exactly what metrics to look at and exactly how many creatives to test to make sure that his launch did well. And in this video, we're going to be talking about exactly how that was possible and what metrics you need to be looking at as a small business owner who's probably not spending $500,000 a day in ads. The first thing that you need to remember when you're thinking about meta ads is that each of the metrics individually is just a representation of a specific emotion that the customer is feeling while watching your ads, but they all also work together, which means as you introduce new creatives, images, and videos into your advertising, all of the metrics are likely going to change slightly. But you can also target the testing that you're doing to attack specific metrics. For instance, click-through rate is a representation of how motivated people are from the advertisement that they just saw to go off of the platform onto whatever website, lead form, or offer that you are showcasing. So if your click-through rate is not very good, then you probably want to make your offer stronger. If you make a new creative with a new hook and a new offer and it overall has better video editing, then all of your metrics are likely to improve. Remember that Advantage Plus, along with Andromeda, is a creative-based targeting system, meaning that the creatives that you put in your ad account are what does the targeting for you. This means that your ad set, the tab where you can manually target, is effectively useless in 2026, and what you need to do is create a lot of creatives that give Meta the data that they need to make your ad account perform better. Not only that, but it will allow you to look at different metrics across different images and videos to understand how your audience views and understands your offer, which allows you to improve it over time. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video, walking through the exact process that you need to go through, along with a case study from Alex Hormozi on how he did advertising and how that will work for you as a small business. Now, the most common metric that people like to look at is your cost per acquisition, which is effectively how much it costs for somebody to buy your thing off of meta ads. The problem is this metric actually tells you nothing on its own. Cost per action is a accumulation of a whole bunch of different metrics on your meta ads. It just tells you if all of those other things are working. You can't affect your CPA directly. The next big mistake is not running enough creatives. Generally speaking, for an ad account doing $50 to $100 a day, you want to have anywhere from 10 to 20 different image ads and a couple of different videos for your ad account to understand your messaging. If you're doing anything less than that, or your ad agency is telling you that you don't need that many, they're wrong. So how does this work in the real world with this case study of Alex Hormozi showcasing his advertising launch? Now keep in mind, he went on a 7-hour long live YouTube video for this to work, but he also ran ads for 2 to 3 months ahead of time. He started out with 1,500 creative examples in his ad account.
It's how we created 1,452 ads for this launch for just our first round of ads. But if you have a system that can scale, that's what scale looks like.
And he started out by spending thousands of dollars a day. Based off the ads that were doing well, he was able to iterate and increase the number of ads that he was running by mix and matching the top performing ad concepts. For instance, a creative where he was running with the poster of the Money Models book, if it did really well, then he would have multiple ad videos where that was the hook. This ended up scaling him all the way to $500,000 a day in ads.
This is what we spent advertising this event to get you here. Up to $500,000 a day. That was just August 13th, 280,000, June 29,000, all right?
The thing is if all he did was increase the budget and didn't increase the number of creatives that he was running using iteration at the same time, this wouldn't have worked. So what you need to do with your ad account is start with a batch of 10 to 20 and $50 to $100 a day in ad costs. This will allow you to understand your base metrics and how much people care about your offer, assuming that the actual ad itself is good. Here's a good example of an ad. Here's a bad example of an ad. If you want to read more about advertising examples, we have this article right here. Now, as long as your ad examples are good, then what the second thing that you want to do is start evaluating your metrics so that you can understand what to change and in what order. First up is going to be your click-through rate. Your click-through rate is a percentage of people who go from watching your ad to the actual landing page, website, or offer that you're showcasing. And this is primarily a metric that explains the motivation that you're able to create with the advertisement to get them off of the platform, which that in of itself is a big ask. But it can also be your message to person alignment. If you're trying to sell Bibles to an atheist convention, you're going to have a lot more trouble than if you're trying to sell Bibles at a church. So you want to make sure that your offer makes sense with the targeting that it's been associated with. Now, with Andromeda, the way that you actually do this is you make your ad text call out your target market. You make sure your description describes the problem that you're solving and who you're solving it for, along with your headline. This will give Andromeda the data that it needs to show it to the right people. Your conversion rate is how many people go from clicking on your ad, going to the website, and actually purchasing something. This is primarily two things, which is one, trust signals. How much do they think that doing the action will get them the result that they're looking for? If you feel that that's the primary issue, then you probably want to increase the amount of testimonial on your website, the better promising, more clarity, or overall just have more trust signals on your website and in your ad. And the second thing that it can relate to is the ad that they clicked actually related to the offer and the landing page? Do you describe well how they go from the ad to the product that they're supposed to be purchasing? A lot of the time, what I'll see on social media nowadays is people have a viral video, and so they boost the post hoping that it will get them sales. But oftentimes, viral videos have nothing to do with the product that you're actually selling, and so even if people do click on the ad, then they go to your website and realize they're supposed to buy a product without ever having thought of it previously, and they don't end up purchasing. So you want to make sure the continuity between asking them to go to your website and actually asking them to purchase something makes sense within the ad. Now, your cost per acquisition is primarily an efficiency metric. How efficiently can you advertise to 1,000 people and get them to purchase the thing that you're advertising? Things like your click-through rate being super low, let's say it goes from 4% to 0.1%, that's a 40 times difference that will make your cost per action, assuming nothing else changes, 40 times as high. So when you improve your cost per action, you just want to go through each of the metrics and try to improve them. CPM is a quality metric. How much does Facebook think that your offer makes sense and is a good ad to show to lots of people? If your quality isn't high enough, you should go on Facebook's advertising policies page and read about what they think is a good ad. If your click-through rate is low, it means that you're advertising something that not a lot of people care about, it's not very motivating, or in all likelihood, it's not that good of an offer in the first place, and you need to make it a better offer. And finally, if your conversion rate is very bad, it means the continuity between your click-through rate and the actual website purchase event is not very good, or your price is too high. Now, this video didn't go into super detailed view, but it did showcase the basic strategies that you can use to improve your advertising. So if you want to read the full article and get all of the details, then all you have to do is go to this link, which is also in the description.